I'm gonna do a little overview on the 64, kind of show you guys what I've done to it so far, what I plan on doing next to it, just for the people who are unaware of what I've done to this car or the history of it. If you already know it, then I would just leave. There's the door. 6.4 SS, triple black, factory car. This is actually like the first 64 I ever got. I've had, probably 10 or so different 64s so far. This is the very first one I ever got. And I kind of put this thing on a back burner just because it was kind of rough. It needed a decent amount of work. So I always was like looking for a nicer one to start with or something that didn't need as much work. And like I said, going through so many 64s, a lot of them I just bought and sold. But going through them, I realized that they pretty much all need the same stuff. I mean, you could hold out, and if you got a big bankroll, you could spend a bunch of money and find one that doesn't have the same issues. But for the most part, it's like they're all at this level or they're way up here, and people want 50, 60,000 for, a hard top coupe. That actually has body mounts, basically, is the big issue with these things. The back half of these cars underneath have the biggest issues. And if you're not too familiar with X-frame Impalas, they have the hard tops anyway. They have these mounts here. So they got those body mounts up here at the firewall. And then there is no other body mounts from there until you get all the way back here. And there's one kind of up in the spring pocket. Then there's one behind the tire, which is your rear box brace. Pretty much guaranteed. Unless the car has been restored, that box brace is gonna be junk. It's gonna be rotten, pretty much. And then you have another one back by the bumper. So there's not a whole lot of body mounts. The convertibles added a couple mounts in the middle, which this one isn't a convertible. It's just a chop top, but I did add the convertible mounts to help with the rigidity, plus did a lot more to it. But so yeah, I kept searching for one that was a little cleaner, but I couldn't find one. I mean, for the money I had to spend, just couldn't, it wasn't possible. So I actually had this thing hanging from my ceiling. The chain mounts right there and right above us here. I had this body hanging from my ceiling for quite a while. Took it down off the ceiling and cut it up. This thing basically was just the firewall was left. The roof was on it for a little bit, and the rear trunk shelf, that part. Everything else I replaced. So it's got a new trunk floor, new quarter panels, new gutters, new tail panel with the tail light pockets, new doors, new fenders, new floors, all new floor bracing. The inner quarters I did save, and the back dash. But it did have a roof on it, and I decided, since I can't afford a convertible, I just, chopped it. And everyone's like, hey, you shouldn't have done that. What if it rains? What if it rains? I don't care, okay? You ever heard of a poncho? You ever heard of a sombrero? You see me in this thing with a poncho and a sombrero on, mobbing. Waterproof seats, drain holes, marine speakers in it. Try to tell me something. And the nice thing about it, for the people who get real worked up about the fact that I cut the top off, is I didn't cut it off of your 64. This one's mine, so don't worry about it. So that's kind of where we're at on the body work. And I've just been really fighting everything, trying to get everything lined up. All these parts are aftermarket parts, so they just don't fit great. So I've had to do a lot of welding. I've added some metal to the edges, trying to bring them up, make them a little nicer. This is an original trunk. It fits okay, but had a lot of dents. You know, it's taken a lot of metal work, mud work to get it smooth. This door about killed me. I mean, it about made me, I mean, I'm still not even done, but this one almost made me give up on the dream of having this car, because this thing fits so terrible. I actually had to weld a piece of 3/8 rod, like this stuff here, metal rod, on top of the door to get the body line to even get within reason of lining up. But I think I pretty much got it. I still got to do a little like fine tuning, but that's where we're at. It fits good, and you know, it's not going to get any better because I'm not going to work on it anymore. So all I'm going to do is smooth it up, work on any big dents that I've missed, and paint this sucker. Like I said, I think I'm going to paint this black. I was going to do kind of a crazy like a pattern paint job, super flake, but I think for now I'm just going to focus on getting it painted black. And then the nice thing about me being able to paint is I could repaint it down the road. Has a cam small block in it. I say small block because it's a 305. You know, I got hustled a little bit when I bought the thing. Guys told me it was 350. You know, took his word for it. Should have looked. Didn't. It's a 305, but it sounds real healthy, so I'm not too upset about that. 350 turbo. Got MagnaFlow exhaust here for it. The whole header back kit, stainless. Gonna put that in. Working on the wiring. Got the famous American Auto Wire kit for it. And working on that right now currently, and man, I'd rather tattoo my own eyeballs than deal with this wiring harness, but they did do a good job of making it pretty user-friendly, even for a dummy like me with wiring. So thank you, American Auto Wire, for making it possible. You know, they label, like all the wires are labeled all the way down them, so that's really handy. One thing I don't like is the hole you have to make for that plug. You got to open it up. And it's like, you know, I guess I could have done better. That was like the first thing I did when I started the harness, was cut that hole. And, you know, it's not my best work, the hole. So a little disappointing. And they don't give you any sort of like trim ring for the plug, which would have been nice, but I'm a little upset about that. There should be some sort of a finish ring that fits over it to kind of clean up the hole, especially with the way I cut it, which, you know, the sun was in my eye, dusty, wind was blowing, people outside talking. Somebody called me right beforehand. You know, the solar eclipse just happened. I got a lot of excuses why that hole didn't turn out very good, but yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Frame on it, fully wrapped. It's got a lot of chrome, some gold accents that I did. Pitbull Ford 9-inch Outback with a mini spool because I'm an idiot. And I originally planned on doing a twin turbo LS, and I was just gonna like roast the tires, like you need a mini spool for that. But it was the cheapest way that I could make sure both tires were gonna fire instead of having a one-legger, you know, but that's what's in it currently. I don't know how it's going to drive with that. We'll have to see. It might be terrible. I might have to swap that out. But it does have a Pitbull 9-inch. I am fitting skirts up to it. One thing I need to figure out is the interior. I can't decide what to do with it. I kind of want to do something custom, but the prices of interior is just insane. It's pretty much $10,000 to $15,000 to get an interior done. I'm not saying it's not a lot of work, but man, to get people to pay $10,000 to $15,000 to get their car painted was like pulling teeth. So I don't know how these interior guys are getting that. So I can get a Ciadella kit for, I think it's Ciadella, or however you pronounce the name. If you know Impalas, you know what I'm talking about. I can get that kit for like $3,500, $4,000. I got to install it, but it's a really nice kit. But they don't do like real custom stuff. I kind of wanted like a mix of vinyl and like that suede or that Alcantara or whatever they call it. Kind of wanted a mix of both of those, but we'll see. Still got to figure out the interior. I am doing kind of a custom dash. So it's going to be an odometer panel. So that whole rectangle there is going to be the screen. Kind of customize the bezel for it to fit. Kind of wanted a little bit more of a modern look. Did a B&M ratchet shifter in there instead of the factory, you know, SS console. I think I'm going to run my own custom console. Kind of wanted something that I could put a radio in, some speakers, maybe a cup holder. The SS consoles, they're cool, you know, they're classic looking, but they're not super functional in real life, so I think I'm gonna update that. But got some Pitbull pumps. Well, I got the blocks. I still need to get some pieces to make them complete pumps, but I got Pitbull 1-inch port blocks for the hydraulics. I think I'm gonna do 4 pumps and 8 batteries. Just kind of keep it pretty simple, but something that's got some power. 13-inch Luxors. Disc brakes in the front, power steering. You know, got the halos. LED taillights. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of a little overview on where I'm at with the Impala, kind of an overview of where the car came from if you weren't aware. And what I plan on doing moving forward is working on getting the thing functional. So I want to get the wiring done, get it running, maybe get it driving. It'd be kind of cool to have something that I can put around a little bit in the garage. I've been doing the body work for a while, and I'm just ready to do something else to kind of keep my focus on it, keep my drive to do something. I got a little antsy and I ended up buying just the weirdest looking 6.4 I've ever seen. I've never seen a 6.4 with a pointy fender like that. All the ones I've seen are flat. I got a little impatient and had to get something to drive. I know it's not a 6.4, guys, calm down, calm down. It's a 6 tray. You know, they're still cool cars. I'm definitely a 64 fanatic. But this one was local to me. Pretty nice car. Already on them things too. I got it just like this. Haven't done nothing to it, but drove it home in the rain. Pretty decent interior. Headliner needs a little buttoning up. It's a little loose. Guy made these decals too. Did a nice job. They look pretty good. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna leave those on or not, but he did a really nice job. It's like you almost have to do something after you buy a car from somebody, especially when they've customized it a little bit. You almost have to do something just to make it yours. Otherwise it's always theirs. So even if that's removing something from the car just to kind of say that's not exactly your old car, I did something to it, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's 63. It needs a little bit here and there. I don't know exactly how far I'm gonna take it. It could use, it needs body mounts. That's another sign that body mounts are bad. They'll always get this little crack right here. So it does need the body mounts replaced. No big deal, I've done a lot of those, I can do that. I don't know if I'm gonna juice it or not. What do you guys think? Should we do kind of a simple lay-in-place setup on it? It does have a Canadian frame on it. Let me know what you think. Or if I should just keep this thing like a reliable family cruiser. I drove the thing an hour on the highway home and it drove great. So, yeah. I'm asking a bunch of lowrider guys if I should juice the car. The answer is probably going to be yes. But, you know, think about it reasonably because I probably will sell the car eventually. I just bought it to kind of tinker around with and have some fun for the summer. So I don't know if financially it makes any sense to actually juice the thing, but yeah, maybe. But you'll be seeing a little bit more footage of that thing do a little cruising this weekend. Maybe take it to a car show, and I'll bring you guys along. So later.